Now I'm using terminology that may not be familiar to you. I'm using the term VPA, which is short for volume price analysis. If you know nothing about volume price analysis, I suggest that you go buy this book. It's available on Amazon in PDF form. I think it's probably $4 or $5 now. And it's an excellent book. It's one of the best books on VPA that's been written in recent years. Now, VPA is really kind of a subset of the Wyckoff technique. Now, there are people out there teaching the Wyckoff technique that are teaching things that were never included in his original work. I've read the original work, and this whole industry has developed around what Wyckoff taught. Really, what has developed is a means to charge people a lot of money to learn some esoteric techniques. And I'll guarantee you, if you read this book and start using HGSI software, you will be miles ahead without spending months, years, and a lot of money learning what is out there and is being taught for sometimes multiple thousands of dollars. Now, in Anna's book, I'll just bring this up, she discusses Wyckoff and the three laws that Wyckoff discussed: the law of supply and demand, the law of cause and effect, and the law of effort versus result. All of this information, or these three laws, are contained in VPA analysis. Now, I've gone back and read the original Wyckoff course. It's available out there in PDF form, and these three laws really sum up his approach to the market. And I'm just going to read these very quickly. These are contained in her book. I took these right out of her book and made a PDF out of it for this video. The law of supply and demand. This is his first and basic law, born out of his experience as a broker with a detailed inside knowledge of how the markets react to the ongoing battle of price action, minute by minute, bar by bar, and so on. When demand is greater than supply, then prices will rise to meet this demand, and conversely, when supply is greater than demand, then prices will fall, with the oversupply being absorbed as a result. Now, the law of cause and effect, the second law, states that in order to have an effect, you must have a cause, and furthermore, the effect will be in direct proportion to the cause. In other words, a small amount of volume activity will only result in a small amount of price action. So when I was showing you those charts with the effort to rise, there was demand based upon both price movement and volume. This law is applied to a number of price bars and will dictate the extent of any subsequent trend. So it isn't just one bar. If you start looking at multiple bars and the price and volume associated with them, you get a much clearer picture of the demand. If the cause is large, then the effect will be large as well. If the cause is small, then the effect will also be small. The simplest analogy here is a wave at sea. A large wave hitting a vessel will see the ship roll violently, whereas a small wave would have little or no effect. So she is comparing both price movement and volume for the law of cause and effect, and that's what Wyckoff did. And the third law is the law of effort versus result. This is Wyckoff's third law, which is similar to Newton's third law of physics. Every action must have an equal and opposite reaction. In other words, the price action on the chart must reflect the volume action below. The two should always be in harmony with one another, with the effort, which is the volume, seen as a result, which is the consequent price action. This is where, as Wyckoff taught, we start to analyze each price bar using a forensic approach to discover whether this law has been maintained. If it has, then the market is behaving as it should, and we can continue our analysis on the following bar. So you go bar by bar for confirmation. You want to see volume and price supporting one another, and if when a stock stalls out, you want to see if there is light selling, and so on. So these are the three laws. This is really just a very quick summary. I suggest that you read the book. It will be very helpful to you if you're going to get involved with volume price analysis. Yes, a lot of people have, or some people have told me that there's a lot more to Wyckoff than volume price analysis. Well, that's true, but a lot of this, the other supplementary material which has been added to the Wyckoff technique has been added by people long after he died. And if you go back and read the original work, you will find that it was much simpler than it is being taught today. With HGSI and the VPA flags that are generated, you can put these 3 Wyckoff laws into use and get excellent results.